All right, so the Des Moines, the Public Safety Emergency Management Committee is now coming to order. And the first item on the agenda is approval of the April meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All right, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Approve the minutes. The second item on the agenda tonight is all of a sudden here, and I'm going to hand the baton to the chief to give us an update on the case.
Thank you, Mayor, Deputy Member, Council members present. As you know, in 2021, we had a triple homicide at La Familia up on Pacific Highway. Des Moines Police, along with many of our neighboring agencies, responded to process at the scene and protect victims and seek justice. And today I am happy to report that a jury returned a guilty verdict on all accounts for that. So that helps bring closure to the victims and a sense of safety and justice to our community. When we respond to these types of calls, of course, we work hard while we're there and the weeks after. I do want to thank my predecessor and all of the staff who made really timely and effective decisions both that night, the weeks later, and then over the last 3 years to bring this case to conclusion, working tightly with the King County Prosecutor's Office. The last 3 months have been a bear for staff, preparing to testify. You know, it's such an honorable profession, but once you get to jury trial, sometimes you feel like you're the person on trial because you're now reliving the experience, accounting for every action, every word in every report, every comment you made on body-worn video is now scrutinized and under review, rightfully so, but it's still a lot of work and a lot of stress. And the Des Moines Police staff, along with Prosecutor's Office, just did a phenomenal job. This case made national news because defense attempted to admit an exhibit that had video footage that was altered by artificial intelligence. That was not admitted, but it made national news because that was the first of its kind. So there'll be more information coming out in the following weeks in a press release, and more information as we debrief, you know, what we could have done better. But the end result in this case is a phenomenal outcome, and I think the victims were very relieved today in court. And I, of course, thank the jury and anyone who serves on a jury. So thank you for letting me provide that update, but I'm very proud of the work of all of our staff and the prosecutor's office and everything that goes into that.
Congratulations. Good work.
I know a couple of our detectives even spent Easter this year sharing a meal with the prosecutors, continuing to prepare. So, you know, it's things like that that go amiss when you're preparing for a big case, as birthdays and holidays and things like that. So
Wow,
good sacrifices.
Good work. That's fantastic. Glad to hear.
And with that, I can roll into item number 3, summer events at the police department and in the city. First off, continuing traffic safety emphasis. So since the beginning of the year, we have coordinated both city overtime and reimbursable overtime through grants through the Washington Traffic Safety Commission to conduct traffic safety emphasis citywide. So those could be everything from targeting reckless driving in Redondo to DUIs on the Pacific Highway, enforcing school zone speeds, looking at neighborhood problems related to traffic safety, doing distracted driving emphasis, etc. So we've conducted 15 since the start of the year. They've been successful. They've netted several arrests, citations, some good accountability enforcement actions, and those will continue. We had one as recently as last night, and we're now scheduling out through the summer. So we will continue to have traffic safety emphasis citywide, and you'll start to see those pop up on social media as well with some of the pre-warnings, if you will, and some of the outcomes as well.
So, question, are you saying that we received a grant in order to do more emphasis patrols, or you're participating in kind of a paradigm that is encouraged for the summer?
It's both.
Okay.
So one, we contribute resources to regional teams that go out and combat things like street racing in the region based on intel. It's pretty routine for agencies across King County to receive annual grant reimbursement money from the Washington Traffic Safety Commission to conduct specific traffic safety emphasis.
Okay.
So that's nothing super new. It's not unique to Des Moines, but it is a good way to not dig into our budget, but try to address wider spread problems through effective grant funding. So we manage that money very effectively, and it's paid off in getting us some accountability where needed in our neighborhoods.
That's great news. Great news. I didn't know we did that. Thank you. Okay.
When it comes to 4th of July, that's our next big city event. We've already been in deep planning sessions citywide for how we're going to manage all the activities and create a safe environment for those attending 4th of July. There's nothing exciting or new from a emergency response perspective. We will continue to have Des Moines police staff along with some supplemental security staff work in tandem along with our friends at South King Fire and other emergency responders, of course, emergency management. And all the planning seems to be going very well. I'm happy that it's ahead of schedule. We never want to plan late. And we are utilizing our new crime analyst to do some intel and research and coordination with the State Fusion Center, which is a joint criminal information center in downtown Seattle, hosted by the FBI and Washington State Patrol. So there's some additional intel being gathered just to ensure we've checked all the boxes and ensuring that if something were to come up, we know about it and we're prepared.
Any questions on that?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Harry.
what's the plan with the new fireworks ordinance? How to enforce that, and who's going to be doing that, and when are they gonna be doing that?
So we're gonna do some preemptive social media press releases. We're also going to send a mailer from the police department to those that we have contacted for fireworks possible violations in the past, just a letter, friendly reminder that says, hey, heads up, we've been to your house in the last 1 or 2 years for fireworks. It's changed. You could more easily be cited this year. That's part of our strategy in both informing and educating, but maybe being preventative. And then we're also gonna post and fill some overtime dedicated patrols to responding to fireworks complaints to both educate and enforce if necessary.
Great, thank you.
And I also, sir, I think it's gonna be featured in the Currents magazine that's coming out as well as part of our education campaign.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear about that. The Currents as well as the social media posting. Fabulous. I think that's going to be super important for the public to.
We have yard signs left over from last year too, that if the public wants to come pick them up, I can make them available.
Awesome.
Cool.
I meet regularly with all the Valley and King County chiefs, but in my meeting with the Normandy Park chief, I did explain to us our enhancements. Contrary, some neighboring agencies don't have any restrictions around fireworks. So I do think that's a challenge for us, especially if you're in our North Hill neighborhoods. Your neighbors have very little restrictions and you're hit with a lot of restrictions. So that will be a challenge point for us, both in education and enforcement and in just the nuisance it causes our community members, pets, etc.
Any other questions on that one?
So, glad to hear about the proactive education.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, Chief. Keep going.
And then, of course, looking forward to Waterland Festival. So we're also planning that event just as we are 4th of July. And again, there are no major changes this year and planning is well underway.
Oh, that's just like that. Like with the parade and all that, you guys are gonna be along the route, we'll be able to yell at you and wave and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
I
can-
promise not to throw candy at you. So, what about, any presence at the market, or any
So the
other
market's
events?
starting up soon here. We don't have any extra security specifically assigned, but our patrol officers and neighborhood officers are aware of it. They'll be present. They'll be down there and we always monitor that. And we always review the applications as they come in to assess, do they anticipate people, items, alcohol being served that potentially we should try to put some proactive public safety measures in. So we always address those issues right at the onset.
Well, I also foresee, some additional questions this summer could be directed at all of your officers at any given time.
Yep.
You know, so, it's kind of gonna be a deal down there too, I think. So, any other questions about that? Any other activities or events? Okay,
And then we
Gosh.
spoke beforehand, Mayor, but I would
Yeah.
just ask that we consider before we adjourn
Sorry.
go ahead.
the next agenda, and if you have any recommendations or
Oh, okay.
items of interest you would like me to bring forward or would like emergency management to bring forward, we have a lighter agenda plan for June. So there is the availability. If you have a topic that's of specific interest you'd like to study or hear a report on, I'm happy to help.
Okay.
Well, we'll
the-
mention it here, go ahead.
Yeah, if I can, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
just thought of it.
Yeah, go for it.
The Art and Wine Walk is on May 11th, and they're expecting between 300 and 400 tickets sold. So that's a lot of people wandering up and down Marine View Drive. Has there been some planning around that?
Yeah, so that is a smaller number, obviously, than 4th of July and Waterland, but it also has its uniqueness because of the
Alcohol's
walking
being served.
and the alcohol. So yeah, we have received that application. Well, the walking too, the walking and the, some of our events are very static, whereas that one leads people to
Migrates up and down.
Migrates,
Yeah.
look-
And crosses the street, yeah.
how do I
Yes.
cross the street? How do I do it safely? So yeah, that is on our radar. No specific
you.
plans, but we'll have a presence down there during that.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I know DDM is planning on having people helping.
Flaggers.
Yep.
They'll have flaggers to go across the street. And hopefully, they're selling tickets at one end or the other, so you won't be
I think both,
congregating in,
yeah, from both sides.
you won't be congregating all in one spot to buy the tickets. So that may spread it out a little bit.
Thank you for that reminder.
Okay, any other questions before we move to the next one? Okay, so it looks like it's your turn, Emergency Management Director,
Yeah, so
Shannon
Summer
Kirchberg.
is coming, at some point, it's gonna get here. So, emergency management and the city, we're, getting ready to do our Beat the Heat and Get Prepared for Wildfire Smoke campaign. Sorry. So I printed off a few of the flyers that we pushed out to the community last year for heat preparedness and smoke preparedness. My favorite is the box fan filter for getting smoke out of your house. If you don't have an air filter, getting a box fan and just putting a furnace filter on the front of it really is an incredible way to clean the smoke out of your home, apartment, or even just your bedroom before you go to bed. So we'll push that one out and push it well. CERT will be at the farmer's market in July, and they will have a demonstration of a box fan filter and how to make one.
And it's fairly cheap.
Yeah, it's super cheap. It's way cheaper than buying one of the machines with the really expensive replacement filters. But these are great. They're easy to put together. You can do a really big one with 5 filters, or you can do a small one with just 1. There's numerous ways to do it, but it's great for everybody. And they'll also be handing out KN95 masks for people to put in their, I want to say jockey box, but I get made fun of when I say that, glove box. So if you're in a situation where it's smoky and you need a KN95 or an N95 mask, we'll be handing them out. Basically, if you can smell it, the air's bad. And then just a reminder to the public to get signed up for air quality warnings through Air Now. It is just real simple, goes from tan all the way down to hazardous. And a note to everyone, hazardous air is different depending on your medical history. People with asthma, even if the air quality is moderate, it may not be healthy for some groups. So just knowing that it affects everybody a little bit differently. So signing up for those Air Quality Now, working with your employers and your friends and family to put a plan in order. So if you can't leave, someone is taking care of you and your employer knows that you may not make it to work. Great news. We are bringing CERT training back this year again. We're going to move it because we're tired of getting rained on in October. We're going to do a July class. This year we've decided to do it during the week, so it'll be Wednesday evenings from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's going to stay here in Des Moines. We're going to keep it up at the Public Works Service Center because it's just such a great location, and now that they've put in new carpet and paint, it's super pretty. So, and we put a TV in there, so we have everything we need is up there to do the CERT class. So July 10th, every Wednesday evening into August, and then that first Saturday in August at August 3rd, we'll be doing the final CERT drill. So council members are encouraged to come be survivors and let our CERT folks do first aid and drag you out of the whatever incident it is that Eric and I make up. We also invited Normandy Park this year And Dan has been gracious enough to share our flyer with all of their neighborhood groups. So the flyer is on Facebook. You guys have copies. Tara's going to send copies with the minutes so you can share it on Facebook as well. But the idea is just get the message out and let's fill the class up. We can take up to 40 people. And it's Burien, Des Moines, and Normandy Park. I gave you the schedule so you can see all the partners that'll be working with us this year. Puget Sound Fire, South King Fire, and we have Battalion Chief Sharon and Chaplain Ellis, and Will Lugo with Puget Sound Fire. He's the emergency manager for SeaTac. He comes and does terrorism for us every year, which is a great class that he does with his retired military experience. I also included in your packet a flyer that I worked on with the planning department. We had a lot of fun with this. This is for our hazard mitigation plan. So this will be in the currents. There'll be a QR code for people to use to go online and take a survey about what they think our hazards are in Des Moines and what they think that we should be addressing in our hazard mitigation plan. So planning and I will be working on that questionnaire and getting that up and loaded soon so that it's there when the ad hits. And then I know that you're already aware, but on April 28th, the severe winter weather storm was declared by the president. So we will be able to apply for public assistance for the reimbursement of the insurance deductible for fixing the pipe break, as well as some equipment that was lost. It's a 75% reimbursement. So we'll be.
So it was declared in April, but it's retroactive to the actual event, which is in the winter.
It was,
the
yeah,
freezing event.
exactly. Yeah, January 5th to 29th was the date range of the event. And that's pretty typical with emergencies. You have to do all of the documentation and gather and prove that you hit these millions of dollars. And the county did a great job on this one because we missed it by, I think it was like 15,000. And so the state came back and said, we'll give you 3 days. And they just really were digging, and they got over the line. So that's good news. Everybody will be able to apply and get reimbursed. Even those that weren't part of the damage assessment can still jump in and get reimbursed. And then just one final note, we're doing a tabletop exercise for the county, and it's extreme heat exercise. So I'm taking myself as well as a few of our EOC team members up to King County, and we're gonna play with hot weather, see how we do. So we pretend, we make believe that it's super hot outside and they have injects, and we run around in the big emergency operations center up in Renton and get resources and send out media information to the public and work with public health and activate cooling centers and sheltering and stuff like that. We don't do anything for real, it's all make believe, but.
No, but
It's a great way to test our capabilities and find out where our gaps are and get to know our neighbors and our partners in emergency management and know who we can lean on in times of emergency. So it'll be 2 days up in Renton. Yeah.
Kind of dovetailing.
Sure.
NIMS training was great. I really liked it.
Thank you.
I learned a lot and I had a good time. So
Good.
I'm encouraging all my colleagues who might not have had it yet, whenever the next time is.
Oh, that was you went to the in-person class, right?
Yes.
The 402 class, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have another one scheduled, but I'm working on it, so soon, hopefully.
And it was just great to interact with a lot of
Yeah, you meet a lot of people up there.
So, and there's another follow-up class or?
No, there's online classes that you need to take. There's 3 online and then the 1 in person, and that completes the council's training. But you can go online into the ICS training and take as many classes as you want. They're all free.
Okay.
The independent study classes, so
It's spare time.
have at it.
Yes, yes.
So, but it was a good way to spend a Saturday morning.
Nice, good, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yoshiko, any questions?
No, I just really hope that those members of the public who are interested in the CERT training for Community Emergency Response Team have a chance to sign up for this free training. Looks like it's every Wednesday evening from 6 to 9 from July 10th to August 3rd.
Yeah.
And they will be able to sign up on the
Using that QR code.
or just give you a call. if
Yeah,
would
they
like
can
to
call
do
me
that.
too, yeah.
That's great. I think it's an excellent way to be prepared around the home and also how we can look out for each other as neighbors.
Yeah, it's a great class. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time.
Is the search still 18 and up?
Yes, ideally. If there's somebody that is under the age of 18 that really wants to do the class, if they come with a parent or guardian, then absolutely we will let them in.
Okay, but, you know, my
Yeah,
son,
I know.
you know, he's now a firefighter and
I
an
know,
EMT.
I know.
And
And can't
CERT
come
was-
to any of my
CERT
CERT meetings
was- CERT
anymore.
was the start,
I know.
and he really liked it.
He
and
was my very first CERT class.
He would be there to
Yeah.
assist
Yeah,
if he's free.
yeah.
It's really a challenge right now.
I know. He's busy.
Mhm.
He always sends an apology message and tells me why he can't come, so.
I wanted to ask you about this page, when you talked about the,
The air quality?
air quality alerts that you can sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I think it was called Alert King County that we talked about during.
Code red, yeah.
Yeah, is this warning included if you sign up for Alert King County, or is this?
No.
Separate?
That is separate.
Yeah.
Air Now is a completely separate air quality only system. Now, if the air quality gets bad enough, there may be a code red that goes out to let people know that air quality is at an extreme level. They might send messaging, yeah. But Air Now is really the best way to get alerts as the air gets worse and better. But it's not a perfect science because there's pockets where the smoke will settle and air quality might be fine in where the air sensor is, because it's just a sensor and they test the cotton, it catches the air as it goes through. So in that area it might be fine, but you move 3 blocks and then it's super smoky. So really the best thing is to get the alerts on the Air Now, and then again, if you can smell it, it's not, the air's bad.
Yeah,
So put a mask on. Protect yourself, protect your airway.
good.
Yeah?
That's the only question that I had. Pull my agenda back up here. So, yeah, that was everything. If there's anything else? Good work. Impressed with both of you and your departments and the work that you're doing to pour into the community. Thank you so much.
Good.
You're welcome.
It's good.
Thank you.
It's a good story. All right. Well, it looks like we've come to the end of the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Yay, thanks, you guys, appreciate you.
Thanks.
The chief did ask us to, to take a look at this really quick, so I'll tell you what's on the agenda for June 6th. Approval of minutes and a GPS crisis response team update, that's all we have. Is there anything else thinking forward into June, so that'll be before Waterland, before 4th of July. After, the market will be open, it will be after the opening day of voting, it'll be after the wine walk. Anything thinking about summer that you would like to see, possibly would like to get an update about?
Well, I was thinking, leading up to the fireworks potentially and 4th of July, I wondered if we've ever had a presentation from South King Fire and Rescue in this venue. And it will be a very, very busy time for them, but maybe June will be less busy. And they might have some fire safety tips as well.
I can reach out and coordinate that if it's a.
Okay, yeah, if the committee's, good on that, so we'll take a look at the calendar of how, what council has on its agenda moving through the summer. So, cause we, let's see, this, next week is our last meeting in May, so we might, at the beginning of June, have a stacked meeting, but somewhere in there.
Sure.
Okay? Question?
Yeah, I like the statistics that you published last time that sort of showed us the trends too, and now we'll have a little more data to show a better trend.
Yes.
So I like those anytime you can bring them.
Well, I
But
have good
if
news
we've
for
got-
you, sir.
Yes.
We just finished our first round of examining our call response times.
Oh,
And
good.
that's never anything we've reported out on. So I had it on my side of the list to bring you our first go at call response times. They are, in my opinion, very good at first blush, but I'll provide you the raw data so you can look at them and ask questions. And then eventually, my plan is to roll those onto a slide in our quarterly report outs that you're referring to. So
Great.
that will become part of the routine analysis, if you will, of where we're at. Just off the top of my head, you know, we divide call response times into 4 categories. 1 being the highest priority, life or property is in immediate danger. 4 being the least priority, a cold call or follow-up. Our average so far for the year response to a level 4 cold call is under 15 minutes.
Oh, that is
Wow,
very
very
good.
So that's the level of service our community is getting on the lowest priority. The highest priority, it tends to be under 3 minutes.
Wow, wow.
Very
So,
nice, yeah.
I was very pleased, of course, to see that because, you know, I think there's a national agreement that if you keep call response times low, that gets us to be able to investigate, solve problems, cases faster, makes the community feel safe, and it makes crime statistics go down. So if we can monitor those call response times and keep them low, that I think in the end gives us good outcomes. So I will bring those next month.
Great, thank you.
Great. Okay, now we can adjourn.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank